Hey there, Moonbeams. It's your girl Michelle here with the Moon's Mood for the week ahead on July 20th. Let's get into it. So we start off this week on the 20th with the moon being in the sign of Libra. Libra is ruled by Venus. She is all about harmony and balance and bringing beauty back into our lives. And this is really, really important, especially for the beginning of the week. I think it really gets us starting on a good foot. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about the tarot cards that are associated with the Libra moon transit. Okay, so our first card that we have, of course, is the Justice card. Thumbnail. And the Justice card is really all about finding balance. She's got the scales of justice in there as well as a sword, which means that she is weighing her options, getting ready to make a decision, and then has the swiftness to make that decision and stay firm on it. Okay, justice is all about finding out what's fair, what's balanced, and making choices based on that fairness. Now, here's the tricky thing. Haven't you ever met a Libra? They're the most indecisive people that you'll ever meet in your whole entire life. And that's because the Libra moon is also represented by the Two of Swords. Thumbnail. Now, the Two of Swords is a really interesting card because you've got a woman who's sitting down, crossing her hands over with a sword, blindfolded. There's a moon in the background, which really represents not knowing what's going on, feeling indecisive, not sure what's happening. But if you look closely, she is not bound to that spot. She's not bound to the chair. Her arms are not bound cross, which means she could easily take off the blindfold and be able to make a decision. So this card does represent being indecisive, but from your own accord. Okay, you are feeling too overwhelmed to make a choice, so you're not going to make a choice at all. You're going to blindfold yourself, cross your arms, and sit down. That sounds like a Libra moon to me, if you ask me. But these two cards together are very interesting. They tell a very unique story. It's talking about needing the balance and harmony that comes with making a decision based on what you feel is right. But then also being faced with the fact that maybe, how do you even know that what you feel is right is right? Maybe we need more information. Maybe we need input from other people. The Two of Swords is all about learning to trust ourselves and learning to take off the blindfold and make decisions, especially when it's paired with this Justice card. Now, when the moon's in Libra, it's also a really important time. The universe and the stars are telling you to take care of yourself. Find harmony, if not in the world around you, find harmony within yourself. Find balance and acceptance within yourself. Those are all super important things to be thinking of the beginning of this week. Then we're going to transit into, we're not feeling so good no more, okay? You know why? Because the moon's in Scorpio. And Scorpio is ruled by the planet of Pluto, which is the planet of the underworld. It's all the things that live deep within our subconscious that are actually the driving force of a lot of what we do. So when we work with the Scorpio moon energy, it's really, really important to look in all of those dark corners because surprise, that's where you're storing all your gold. So the Libra moon is asking you, what do you believe is fair? What do you stand for? And then the Scorpio moon is asking you to stand on those values. Have those values come from deep within so that you can make choices and decisions based on deep rooted belief and autonomy. Now, the tarot cards that represent the Scorpio moon is, of course, the Death card. If you thought it wasn't the Death card, you were fooling yourself, girl, because of course Scorpio is ruled by the Death card. Now, what is interesting about the Death card is that it is not a card about physical death. It is not a card about anything scary. It's about deep change. It's about the kind of change that comes around whether you like it or not. It's the change that says, are you ready to shift your reality now, or do I have to drag you through it? There is not a lot of choice in this. But when we do choose to change, and for the better from the depths of our intuition and our subconscious, the better. Now, there was no minor arcana card that represents the Scorpio moon, but my intuition said we need to look at one. We need to look at one. And that is the card of the Two of Wands. Look, we got a little wish on there. Love the garden. So the Two of Wands really represents taking a step back, really re-navigating what your thought process is, looking at the world, seeing how you can implement your ideas into a world that's already built, that's already structured. So when you pair these two cards together for the Scorpio moon, you are getting a really powerful message of take a step back, take a few minutes, really look at your circumstances and what you're offering to the world and make those necessary changes. And last but not least, on July 24th, we enter the moon in Sagittarius, okay? Now, when the moon is in Sagittarius, one of my favorite moon transits, you can expect a good fucking time. And the moon is in Sagittarius for 3 days. We're going on a 3-day expansive bender, okay? Sagittarius is ruled by the planet of Jupiter, which is all about growth and expansion and learning more and just having a good time and doing what feels good. So it's no surprise. These bugs. It's no surprise that this moon transit is happening right after a really deep, intense moon transit. When we go through the moon in Scorpio, sometimes we can be so deep in our emotional bodies that it feels like there's no way back to the surface. And then lo and behold, the moon hops into the sign of Sagittarius and brings us right out of that funk and lets us remember that life is meant to be enjoyed. Life is meant to feel fulfilling. It's meant to be full of happiness and joy and laughter and learning and all these fabulous things, because once you know the dark of the depths, you're able to enjoy the levels of light, okay? So what's interesting too is that the major arcana card that goes along with the Sagittarius moon is the Temperance card. And the Temperance card can be kind of tricky when you're doing readings in tarot, because it really does talking about balance and weighing options and deciding when to step into your intuition versus when to step into your action. So there's a lot of different things that come along with the Temperance card, and I think it's overly unique, especially for it to be the card that represents the Sagittarius moon, because personally I feel like the Sagittarius moon is just such a good time. But then what paired with this Temperance card, how much of a good time is too much of a good time? If you are indulging in worldly pleasures like Jupiter loves to do, then are you really learning? Are you really growing? Or are you just staying stuck in a same situation? You are pouring from the same cup, one to the other. You're not gaining any new knowledge. And Temperance is all about being able to weigh options and find balance. I was actually quite surprised that it wasn't connected to the Libra card, because I feel like Temperance, I mean, I get justices, but like, Temperance is also just about, weighing options, making a decision, trying not to be indecisive. So Temperance is also really about being able to balance things emotionally and having emotional control and making sure that we're not going all out, okay? Like Jupiter tends to fall into. Now, the card that is paired with the Temperance card for the Sagittarius moon is the Nine of Wands. Now, this is really interesting, especially coming right off of the Scorpio moon and the Death card. It does end up actually making sense, because this card shows that there is a wounded soldier and he is focusing on getting himself better, and he's got his walls up, he's got his defenses high. He knows better than to fall into the same patterns to get hurt again. So when we combine these two cards together, the moon in Sagittarius reminds us that we need to find emotional balance, have emotional maturity, and be able to heal and trust in divine timing, as well as reminding us that even if we've been hurt in the past, that pain doesn't go anywhere except for giving us more knowledge about what to do in the future. Pain can be a very, very resourceful feeling so that we can learn how to build our walls to keep ourselves safe and how to make sure that we're not falling into the same old patterns and we're finding balance and being emotionally mature about it. So we're having a really crazy busy astrological week with all of the outer planets, but I always remind people that we have to really keep in mind our emotional and subconscious energy, which is always ruled by the moon. So I give you these weekly moon updates. Click subscribe if you like to learn about the moon signs, along with tarot, a little astrology, giving you a little overview of the week and what to keep in mind for these moon transits. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, comment what you think about this reading. Okay, I want to know if you guys feel like this clicks in. Even if you're watching this video after the week is done, tell me what happened. I want to know. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe. It really means a lot to me. And I will see you guys next week to talk about the moon transits. So I'll see you then. Bye.